Yes, it's unethical. You're not supposed to do that.
They called us here.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go into a private place and solicit a trespass. You can't do that.
We're here. He's here working.
I understand, but you have no business in there right now.
I'm your number one fan. Quick picture, please. Latino for Harris. My name is Will Latino for Harris. If you don't touch me, don't assault me.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Will Latino. Thank you very much. Take it easy. My name is Will.
Hey, do you want me to take a photo for you?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. And quick question, you said you weren't going to take any money from lobbyists, but you've taken
people.
more. Please don't.
You can't assault people.
Any response?
What do you mean?
How are you? I'm doing great. How are you? I'm not doing too good, actually.
Okay.
All right. Because this lady laughed about smoking weed, right? And then she put thousands of people in jail for smoking weed. She laughed about it, and she said she listened to Snoop and Dre while she did it in college. Snoop and Dre weren't even out. So this lady right here, Kamala Harris, puts people in jail for weed and laughs about smoking weed. She's a criminal. That woman is a criminal. How dare you? Shame on you folks. She laughed about people smoking weed, her smoking weed, and other people. She put them in jail for smoking weed. How's it going? Good. Excellent.
Name and badge number, please.
Yep. This is a public lobby, and that guy actually, one of these dudes in here actually assaulted me.
You're in a public space.
He's gonna touch me too, okay? People have been touching me. I am in a public space, I know.
You're in a public space.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have the legal right to ask you to leave.
You do, but I also have the legal right
Well, we're in a public area right now.
You're disturbing the peace, and I have the
No,
legal
we're not
Absolutely
disturbing the peace.
Tickets are straight ahead.
I haven't said anything. How am I?
17 headquarters.
We're working on a story.
How
We're
am I
citizen
disturbing you,
journalists.
Do I not have the right to
I'm down at
protest?
12 o'clock place, and I got a couple people who are unwilling to leave.
Do
We're
we not
working
have
on
the
a
right to
story.
protest here in the United States? Are
We're
you
just
saying
working
that
on
we
a
don't
story.
have free speech, sir?
You have the absolute right.
So we can sit here and protest, then, right?
No, you're in a public space.
This is a public. It's a public space.
Let him talk, sir. Why would you tell us to leave? We're just working on a story. Freedom of the press.
So you're in a public place and you're causing a disturbance, and I'm asking you to leave. That's all.
517 141, sorry.
Sir, if we
12 o'clock place, right at the event center.
How are we causing a disturbance?
Sir, we do have the First Amendment, correct?
Absolutely.
And we can't protest, correct?
You can.
So how is that causing a disturbance if we're protesting and using the First Amendment? That's not.
So
I asked the lady a question, right? I was assaulted before that. I know you're not going to follow up on that assault, right? You don't care about that because she's in a higher position of power. I'm here using my First Amendment right
and you have
to
every
protest.
right.
Okay, then why are you asking me to leave?
And you had you saying.
Well, no, the thing is, hear me out. But
There's a law on the books.
Okay,
for
what's the law on the
disturbing
books?
the peace.
Okay.
You're disturbing the peace,
Okay.
and we've asked you to leave.
Okay,
How
let me
did
ask
he
you one
disturb
more,
the
Let me ask
peace?
you one more question, okay? What is the difference between exercising my constitutionally protected
Now the
right?
situation fully erupts into a verbal battlefield. The cameraman shifts from controlled questioning to outright confrontation, loudly calling out the political figure with accusations that cut deep. This isn't subtle, it's aggressive, direct, and designed to provoke a reaction. And it works. The environment immediately becomes tense. People nearby react. Security presence becomes more noticeable. The energy in the space tightens as if everyone senses that this moment is spiraling beyond a simple protest. Then comes a critical turning point. The cameraman claims he was assaulted. That single claim flips the narrative. Now the focus shifts from protest to victim versus authority. He points fingers, demanding accountability, insisting that something illegal has just happened. But what makes this moment so compelling is the uncertainty. We don't fully see what happened, yet the reaction is intense enough to suggest something serious occurred. As police begin to engage, the dynamic changes again. Instead of immediate support, the cameraman feels challenged. He starts defending himself, invoking constitutional rights, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, repeatedly emphasizing that he's operating within the law. His tone is no longer just confrontational, it's defensive, strategic, and increasingly emotional. At the same time, the officers attempt to maintain control, questioning the situation, trying to determine whether this is a lawful protest or a disturbance. And right here is where the tension sharpens. Where's the line between protest and disorder? That question hangs over the entire exchange. The cameraman pushes hard, refusing to back down, insisting that raising his voice does not equal breaking the law. Meanwhile, the officers begin framing the situation differently, hinting that the behavior may be crossing into something actionable. This segment is pure escalation. No resolution, no clarity, just rising pressure, conflicting narratives, and a growing sense that this could tip in either direction at any moment.
Protected right to protest and disturbing the peace. What's the difference?
Sorry?
What is the difference between me protesting and disturbing the peace? What's the difference?
Disturbing the peace is when you're causing a disturbance and a peace officer asks you to leave the area. This is a public space, and that's what I've done. I've asked you to
But
leave the
okay,
area.
so what?
So you have authority to
listen.
tell us to leave a public
So
area?
listen, you understand how the law works, right? I understand you're saying that you have some rights, right?
Yeah.
And it's like if you want to make a complaint or you want to, you want to go
No,
that route, you
I
can
don't want to
certainly
make a
do that.
complaint. I just want to have a conversation as a fellow human being that the thing that makes America great is the right to protest, right?
Sure,
and then when you're telling me I'm disturbing the peace
You know,
for just
if
exercising my
if you were standing
Look,
over here with some signs and you weren't disturbing the peace,
But-
that
but-
would be
but
fine,
here's
and I
the
wouldn't
thing,
ask
but-
you
but
to-
wait.
Asking questions is
but
not
asking
disturbing the
questions is not
peace.
disturbing peace, and raising my voice is not disturbing the peace, right?
You were just yelling over here.
Yeah, and you can yell in a protest. You can yell, right? When an individual does something, well, hear me out, right? When an individual does something extremely amoral, right? I could do something crazy. I could try to do something violent or something like that. No, I don't, right? I have no criminal record, right? And I'm all about peace. But at a certain point, when our democratic constitutional republic breaks down, that's what happened during the Vietnam War. Nobody was arrested. They're saying we disturbed the peace for talking and protesting.
Listen, I totally get it, guys. Listen, I totally get it.
All right,
it's
thank
like
you.
you weren't just talking, you were yelling, right?
And it's
If
okay
you
to
wanna-
yell, though, right?
No, it's not okay.
It's not okay to yell at a
when you're
protest.
disturbing the peace.
So I'm at a protest. I'm not disturbing the peace, though. You see how you can intermingle those things closely together, and the thing, and so like, how's it going, folks? Hello. Good. So I'm over here exercising my constitutionally protected right, freedom of speech, and to protest. I was assaulted by a gentleman in here. He says I was disturbing the peace. I was just talking and asking a question. So I was looking for clarification. Where does my right to protest stop in disturbing the peace? I'm actually a little bit upset. I was assaulted over here. This guy's trying to stop my free speech, and you guys don't care about the assault. I'm over here just protesting a known criminal and a known liar, and I got assaulted, and you guys are coming to me like there's a problem with me when I'm exercising my constitutionally protected right to free speech. I didn't swear. I did raise my voice, but that was after I'd been assaulted. So I am a little riled up, quite frankly.
It's not on loud, unreasonable noise.
Okay, but it's private property. Did they ask you to leave?
Well, we never went in
crossed.
there.
I was only on this spot. I didn't cross that at all.
Who are you guys protesting?
I'm protesting Kamala Harris, U.S. Senator.
Okay. All right.
And you know what? I'm not. She's gonna maybe come out. Maybe I'll be here when she comes out. Maybe not. This is a public area, as this gentleman stated. But I just think it's not fair to say that I'm disturbing the peace when I'm just exercising my constitutional right. And this guy's been very polite, very nice to me, right? The problem is he's not going to go in there, and we have it all on video. He's not going to go in there, and unfortunately, you guys aren't either, because you guys are supposed to protect.
This is where the encounter transforms into a philosophical and legal showdown. The cameraman digs in, no longer just reacting. Now he's challenging the system itself. He begins dissecting the law in real time, asking a question that puts the officers on the spot. What exactly separates peaceful protest from disturbing the peace? It sounds simple, but in practice, it's incredibly complex. And that's exactly why this moment is so powerful, because the officers can't give a clean, immediate answer. Instead, their responses feel cautious, measured, almost hesitant. They define disturbance broadly, causing disruption, creating noise. But the cameraman immediately pushes back, exposing the gray area. He argues that protest, by its nature, is disruptive. So where does legality end and enforcement begin? The tension here isn't loud. It's intellectual, strategic, and quietly intense. At the same time, emotions are still simmering beneath the surface. The cameraman repeatedly brings up the alleged assault, clearly frustrated that it's not being prioritized. From his perspective, the system is failing in real time, ignoring wrongdoing while scrutinizing him instead. That frustration starts to bleed into his tone. He becomes more animated, more passionate, referencing historical protests, invoking broader themes about democracy and rights. This isn't just about this moment anymore. He's framing it as part of a larger pattern. And that's what raises the stakes, because now the officers aren't just handling a disturbance. They're being positioned as representatives of a system that may or may not be respecting constitutional rights. It's a delicate balance. One wrong move, one misstep in communication, and the situation could escalate dramatically. This segment holds the viewer in a different kind of suspense, not physical chaos, but mental tension, where every word matters and every response could shift the outcome.
So, protect and uphold the Constitution, but you guys are... I know.
I don't even know what's going on, so you're awfully excited.
Okay, well, we have a
visibly
video.
shaking. I want to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah, I guess the security guard from the lady. We were just trying to take a picture and
my rights have been violated a number of times.
So you're judging those past experiences on us right now, which
that's,
isn't fair.
That's true.
Okay.
That's not fair. And then it is also not fair. It's also not
I'm
fair.
here to find out what's going on, what
I came up.
What the issue was here.
Sure. The issue is just I'm just expressing my right to freedom of speech, and I was taken aside for doing that, and not the guy that assaulted me.
Okay, so you were taken aside and you were spoken to, so someone else was exercising their freedom of speech.
No. I was physically assaulted.
Okay.
Even when Kamala Harris agreed to take a picture with me, this guy was still touching me. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So and then I get a little excited when somebody's assaulting me twice in front of a police officer, and then I'm getting yelled at for using my First Amendment and not the guy that's assaulting me. So yeah, I'm a little riled up. My apologies.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So I need to see your ID real quick because I just need to check out who I'm
I'd rather not waive my Fourth Amendment right.
Okay. So how am I supposed to investigate an assault?
You don't need my information.
well, you would.
Yes,
you
I
would,
do.
You would
You're
need.
an alleged victim.
True. Are you going to investigate that gentleman?
I don't know who I'm speaking with, so I need to identify all parties if you want me to investigate an assault.
Are you definitely going to identify him too?
I need to investigate you first. I need to.
Why
I
would
need
you
to talk to-
investigate me?
Well, I need your side of the story.
Okay, so
Investigate.
that's my side of the story. I'm standing here.
So I don't know who I'm
My
talking
name is
to.
Will.
Okay, Will.
So my name is Will. I'm over
So,
here.
but when we go to court and the judge asks me who I'm talking to, and I say Will, he's going to say,
Wait, are you
I need a little more.
charges?
I'm not going to press charges because I'm not like
So,
that.
but you want me to investigate?
I don't even want you to investigate. I'm just because I've dealt with this before, right?
We
I've
just
been
want
assaulted
you
before,
guys to
right?
know.
We just want you to know that.
So, but you keep saying you want me to investigate and you want me
No,
to
I don't
go
want you
and
to
talk to
investigate.
them.
I never
don't
said
know.
you don't want you to investigate. I said you guys aren't going to.
Well, let's rewind the tape.
Sure.
Okay, we'll do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
'Cause I'm pretty sure you said you want me to investigate instead of.
Do you
I
want to
said-
see?
no, no,
Do
no,
you want
I
to see
said-
the
I
tape
said you
where
guys will-
when the
I said
guy
you guys
grabbed
will
him?
not go to do that because that was an assumption.
Yeah,
It's
you're
an assumption.
assuming.
It was an assumption, and
Yeah.
it could be incorrect. But I've dealt with these situations a number of times where instead of somebody investigating assault, and I've dealt with this on video a number
So
of times.
I do this for a living. So
Sure.
when I come, I like to identify all the parties because if, let's say, you have an injury, you want to go to court, you want to press
Sure.
charges and things like that, I need to know who you are.
But is he being suspected of committing a crime?
No, but I need to. He needs
Okay.
to be a victim of a crime,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So you guys are
So if
seem
he-
very
if-
informed of your rights, and that's awesome. But you guys also need to know about how we operate. So I need to know who I'm speaking with if I'm going to go and.
I'd
I mean,
rather
but-
you not, but I'm just saying.
Okay,
I'm gonna,
so what am I
Yeah.
doing here?
I don't know. He called you guys,
Okay.
and I don't know what you're doing here. quite
So
frankly.
you're alleging assault, and that's.
No, I'm just here exercising my constitutional. No, there was an assault. I'm not alleging anything.
Okay.
It's absolutely happened. It happened on video. But I'm here using my constitutionally protected right to protest. And he said this is a public area, and so I don't understand why you guys are here.
And we came
at
from
all.
very far to work on this story, so we didn't come over here to break the law. You know.
So in terms of the assault, you don't want to press any charges on that one.
No.
You're just letting us know about that.
I don't even care whether you
Okay.
guys know or not. I mean,
Okay.
it was just more of the juxtaposition of. It's more of the juxtaposition of you guys should be upholding my rights and going after.
I'm trying
yeah.
to, but I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, I'm
So-
talking about this gentleman more specifically because this is who we dealt with earlier.
Okay.
How's it going, sir?
So yeah, I'm just gonna stay here. I might come back later and protest on the way out. I might stay here and protest. I'm not sure, but that's the situation. That's what's been going on.
Okay. So you're okay. You're
I'm totally
you're not
okay.
Injured.
No, I just got a little upset because
I just
tend to
think he jumped. Honestly, I don't want to be disrespectful to you, but I think you jumped into the disorderly, disturbing
Well,
the
you guys
peace.
have a lot of assumptions
Because
prior
that's-
to you guys coming here.
Now the conflict takes a sharper turn. Authority begins to assert itself more directly. The officer asks for ID. And instantly, the dynamic shifts again. The cameraman refuses, invoking his Fourth Amendment rights. This moment is critical because it introduces a new layer of tension, compliance versus resistance. The officer frames the request as necessary for investigating the alleged assault, while the cameraman sees it as an overreach. Neither side backs down. Instead, the conversation becomes a tactical exchange. The officer explains procedure, emphasizing the need to identify all parties. The cameraman counters with experience, claiming he's seen this pattern before, where the focus shifts away from wrongdoing and onto the person reporting it. There's a growing sense of distrust. What makes this moment especially gripping is how both sides believe they're right. The officer is following protocol. The cameraman is defending his rights. And that clash creates a situation where resolution feels almost impossible. Then comes another twist. The cameraman begins to soften slightly, stating he doesn't even want an investigation anymore. But this isn't de-escalation, it's strategic. He's repositioning himself, focusing on exposing what he sees as inconsistencies rather than pursuing legal action. Meanwhile, the officer continues trying to regain structure, asking clear questions, attempting to define the situation. But the clarity never fully comes. Instead, the conversation loops, rights, procedures, past experiences, creating a sense of controlled chaos. It's not explosive, but it's unstable, like a situation that could reignite at any second. And that's what keeps the viewer locked in.
You also got to think about, right?
Well,
there's
no.
only one police officer. There's a couple of people. You admit that you were a little, worked up when we got here, right?
It's okay to be worked up at a protest,
100%.
right?
No,
No,
but I'm
I
saying
don't
that there's
think
only
he
one
saw
police
you
officer,
getting around.
right? A couple of people who are upset. So
Only
that's what
one
we
person.
do. We
Only
call-
one person was upset,
And
and
we call for
Good.
additional bodies, right,
Good.
to make
Right.
sure that everyone stays.
They called you guys for a constitutionally protected right that we have.
that was a bad kind of
No,
bad
but when
injury,
people get
insult
worked
to
up,
injury.
people get nervous.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
It's not their fault.
But I don't know what's the maximum penalty for disturbing the peace in New Hampshire? Is it a year in jail? Is it 6 months? We're talking about serious
Let me ask you one
serious
more thing
comment.
before,
Yeah.
just so I can proceed potentially with caution. What is disturbing the peace, and how is that delineated from a protest?
Exactly.
Because I want to know just for future reference.
Okay. Well, you got to look up the laws. You seem pretty educated, and so I'm going to give you the opportunity to take out that.
Well,
super
I would
Well, we
Just
usually
to
we,
answer
we usually don't have a problem with
and educate
freedom of
because-
speech in America.
The answer is I have the freedom of speech. I can yell and scream as
Well,
much
no,
as I want.
not if it's going to disturb people.
Well, not if I'm yelling fire in a movie.
Who determines?
Something
So
So there's parameters.
There
You're
are
obviously
parameters.
aware of those parameters.
Yeah.
So me educating you right now isn't really.
No,
gonna
I just wanted to make sure
help you.
because I was a little nervous, and that's the other reason. That's the other reason I was upset because I was a little nervous that this guy's going to try to drag me up in handcuffs for just exercising my free speech because he's like, oh, disturbing the peace. I'm like, I'm doing nothing of the sort, So I'm just trying to hold.
Well, when you're
corrupt
yelling and
elected-
screaming, it's going to disturb people in here. So this is a pretty densely populated area, right?
Sure.
Okay. So when people are yelling and screaming, it makes other people nervous. So they're going to call us, and we're going to come out and we're going to talk to you. And
Fair enough.
this guy's getting good video. Hope he's got a good
yes, we have millions of hits on YouTube.
That's awesome. Congrats.
All right, you done?
For now, until maybe she comes back later.
Are you with them?
I drove.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right. So, yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have no problem giving you my ID.
Have you guys ever heard of Auditing America? No. Never? Oh, you're living under a rock. Come on, guys. That's the #1 police show on YouTube.
Cool.
They show up for constitutionally protected rights every time.
All right.
So this year is private property.
This is private property.
Oh, this right here?
Yes.
Oh, really? Since when?
Public area.
No. Hold on. Let him
The whole
speak.
street area is private property.
Oh, really?
Private
Who?
company, yes.
Oh,
They
really?
asked
They
you
bought the
guys to leave.
sidewalk?
They built the sidewalk. They
No.
let the town use it.
This is a publicly accessible sidewalk. They don't own the sidewalk, sir.
Let me tell you, this is private property that the town has access to, but they own the property.
It's a-
So if
it's-
they
it's a-
ask you
it's
to
a-
leave, you'd have to leave.
Well,
You go
Technically a
to the
publicly
public
accessible area.
sidewalk down there.
so they own this whole sidewalk.
They own this side and that side.
Really?
And the street.
So, oh, really? So did Hampton and these guys work together to own this
All
whole?
owned by the same people.
Oh, really?
Street in town.
This is a publicly accessible area. There's no way they can tell us to not work on a story here. There's no. I mean, they can tell us whatever.
I'm
But
telling you.
are you a
this
captain?
is- Yes, I'm the captain.
Come on, captain. You should know this is a public sidewalk.
I'm not going to debate it with you. but
Well,
I'm
it's.
telling
I'm
you.
not debating. I'm telling you the
I'm
facts.
just telling you, if they ask you guys to leave, and then we ask you to leave, and you don't leave, then you could be trespassing.
Oh, trespass for video recording. The senator's here. Don't you guys expect media to be here? Come on. So what? If it were Channel 10, you're gonna tell them no, Channel 10. You have to stay over there, Channel 10. Dude, we're practicing freedom of the press. There's no way you can tell us not to do that.
All right.
Now, if we're walking in there, it's a different story.
Press, but you can do it from a public sidewalk.
This is a public
This is-
sidewalk.
No, this is the public has access.
Captain, I'm gonna
to,
take
but
your
it's
word
all
for it
public.
right now, but I'm gonna go back home and
ahead and do your research.
I am 100% sure this is a publicly
publicly accessible
accessible
thing.
area.
Public accessible.
So
That
the
doesn't
free-
mean they're not private property.
That's true, but just the fact that
But
it's
if it's-
publicly
it-
accessible means that
If
it
it's
is-
open to the
freedom of
public,
speech is-
if it's open to the public, we're good to go. Come on, Sergeant. I mean, Captain.
I'm telling you where you guys could have access, and that's on the sidewalk down there.
So, are you guys gonna solicit a trespassing or something? Because nobody has said we have to leave.
If they ask you guys,
Are you gonna ask them?
They haven't asked to leave.
But you know what I'm saying. You're the one bringing that up.
That's all we're asking.
You're the only one saying this is a private sidewalk, office Captain. So
Maybe they're not aware of it.
I'm
but
pretty.
I am.
Okay, this is a private sidewalk then. So you're giving us a demand that we have to leave
No,
then?
they
No,
haven't.
I did not give you that.
Okay.
Thank you, man, for clarifying.
Okay, thank you. But that kind of works me up because I'm pretty sure that taxpayers funded this sidewalk right here. I don't
Well,
think
you go
they.
do your research.
What about this right here? This road. This is not publicly funded either. Come on, no, you can't say
Whether
that.
public or private doesn't make a difference because it's a public.
Does it
accessible area.
have signs paid by the state? That stop sign? Did they buy it?
It doesn't matter
No.
what we say because you guys have already had your.
No, it does matter. It does. Trust me, it does matter what you say because you
your
guys
research.
are public servants.
Go do your research.
You're supposed to do the right
I
thing.
stated you what I believe. I'm
Well,
not
it's
changing
well
my
you.
opinion of that.
It's not what you believe. It's what
what I
what the
know.
facts are.
They are the facts.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
debating them.
We're in private property then.
I think they're just protecting themselves because they're worried that perhaps something's going to be brought up that's going to be against them.
There's nothing being other than being asked us to leave.
Oh, you.
Who's asked us to leave?
They
Nobody
haven't,
said-
but he's saying that they.
No,
have
he
a
just
right
said
to ask
we've
you
been
to
asked to
if they
leave. We
want.
haven't been asked to leave. So now are we being asked to leave then?
I'm asking you to leave.
Oh,
and there would not be any more issues here.
But are you demanding to?
I'm not demanding this.
Okay,
It's
so-
my property. I don't have the right to demand.
All right. But come on,
You
we're
want
not
me to
doing.
go in there and
We're
ask
working.
them if they want you guys to leave?
That would actually be illegal because you would be soliciting
Illegal, I can
Yes,
ask
it's
them.
unethical. You're not supposed to do
They
that.
called us here.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go into a private place and solicit a trespass. You can't do
We're
that.
here. He's here working.
I
the details
I
for
understand,
them.
but you have no business in there right now.
What?
They called.
They call for what? For video recording? There's
They
no.
hired a police officer that's doing a detail here tonight. If they asked us to show up and ask you to
And that's fine, but we're not creating a problem. We're working on a story.
All right, that's I
You know?
have no problem with that. But we got called here. We didn't come here looking for you guys.
I know, and I think that gets to the root of the problem is that where we're called for disturbance when we're just exercising our First Amendment right. And I think that gets to the heart of the problem here. Because, I mean, we can protest all day long. I mean, my grandfathers both went to war. My great-grandfather went to war in the
there's no
Pacific
debate.
to keep these rights. So,
There's no debate about that.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
just a
That's
matter of
good.
where
I'm
you
glad
can
we're
do
on
it
the
at.
same page.
It's just a matter of where you can do it at.
All right. What do you want to do?
I mean, I don't need to stay here in a standoff. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing is legal and right. I caught the footage that I want. I hope that.
Hey,
Welcome. Hey, enjoy your time here in Portsmouth, all right?
We will do our best.
Yeah,
to
you
prove that.
you guys seem like a very cordial people.
Thank you.
You jump into disorderly really quick. There's
I
no.
explained
You guys
it to
are
you.
some of the best guys
This-
I've dealt with. You guys have been good. Thank you. Have a good evening, guys. You too. So we can go. I got the footage. I need that footage right now.
This guy's a tyrant. he try to make you face a year in jail real quick. Hold on.
Hey, we said we're walking.
You know where I am.
This final segment is where everything converges into a full-scale standoff over space, authority, and control. The debate shifts from behavior to location, and this seemingly simple issue becomes the most explosive yet. Is this public property or private? The cameraman firmly believes he's standing on public ground, protected by law. The officers begin suggesting otherwise, introducing the possibility that the area may be privately controlled. And just like that, the stakes skyrocket, because if it's private property, everything changes. The legal foundation of the cameraman's argument weakens. But if it's public, then the officers risk overstepping. Neither side fully concedes. The cameraman challenges the claim aggressively, questioning logic, pointing to infrastructure, invoking taxpayer funding, building his case piece by piece. Meanwhile, the officers maintain their position, but without delivering a completely definitive shutdown. That uncertainty fuels the tension.